Riya would be performing deeds to show off. It's duplicity or eye service deeds. People are the main factor and drive behind the deed that's done, and not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wal iyadhu billah. That's why Ibn Taymiyyah said, Ar-riya min bab al-ishraq bil-khalq. Riya is a form of shirk in creation. Why? How? Because the individuals offering acts of ibadah with the intention of making people notice, or for admiration or praise, or to get commanded, or for other reasons. That ibadah should have been totally for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that person is associating who he was trying to impress or show off to with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similar to riya is ujb. Ujb is to have internal pride. It's having vanity. The author is referring here to the ujb of one who sees himself high and above with an eye of honor and self-glorification after he does ibadah or due to a ibadah that he did. There's people of ujb who regard their salah or their da'wah or ibadah in general as a favor to Allah. They don't recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has done them a favor by allowing them to perform those ibadat. That feeling could be internally, in the heart, or expressed verbally, or shown by actions. And a person could have that disease at different degrees. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا قُلْ لَا تَمُنُّوا عَلَيَّ إِسْلَامَكُمْ بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ أَنْ هَدَاكُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. They regard their acceptance of Islam as a favor to you. Some ulama said the verse was revealed because of a Bedouin tribe, a tribe from the Arab, who went to show favor over the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam because they believed without the Messenger having to fight him. يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا قُلْ لَا تَمُنُّوا عَلَيَّ إِسْلَامَكُمْ بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ. You're not doing Allah a favor. Allah said to the Prophet, tell them, do not regard your Islam as a favor to me. بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ أَنْ هَدَاكُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ. It's Allah who has done you a favor by guiding you to the faith if you are truthful. It is Allah who has done you a favor by honoring you to give da'wah, or to get up for night qiyam, or fajr salah, or to wear niqab and hijab, or to do the fara'id and nawafil. So get that ujb out. I stated that Ibn Taymiyyah said riya is shirk in others. He said, and ujb is shirk in oneself. وَالْعُجْبْ مِنْ بَابِ الْإِشْرَاكِ بِالنَّفْسِ. Because the individuals offering acts of ibadah with internal vanity and conceit of his own self. Ibn Taymiyyah said, the one with riya does not fulfill إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. You alone we worship. How can he say, you alone we worship, when he showed off to others what belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He gave a portion or all of his ibadah to others, so he didn't fulfill إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. You alone we worship. Ibn Taymiyyah said the one with ujb does not fulfill وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. You alone we ask for help. Instead of seeking full aid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he included his own self with his internal pride. Whoever fulfills إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ will be free of riya. Whoever fulfills إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ will be free of ujb. Ibn Hazm said, إِنَّ الْعُجْبِ مِنْ أَعْظَمِ الذُّنُوبِ وَأَمْحَقُهَا لِلْأَعْمَالِ. Ujb is among the biggest sins and among the biggest destroyer of deeds. Struggling to free yourself from ujb and riya may be difficult in the beginning, but keep fighting and resisting that temptation, and it'll be very easy at the end. You may find someone who has much less ibadat than a person with ujb and plenty of deeds, yet that person with a little bit of ibadat feels sorrow and humbleness and shortcoming towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has constant regret over his past or shortcomings, and he has love and desire to complete his shortcomings and achieve more. And that concept may attain him a higher status with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than a person with more deeds yet afflicted with ujb. Feeling regret and shortcoming with deeds and ibadah is a blessing one always needs, and one should thank Allah for it if he feels that. If pride and ujb and riya seep into the heart of a da'iyah or a abid or a reciter of the Quran or a mujahid, it ruins his hard work. Ujb and riyah don't penetrate anything but ruin them. The ultimate success is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not leave you to yourself. With ujb, you're basically asking to be left to yourself. The ultimate letdown is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to abandon you to yourself, and you never want to be left to yourself, not even for a blink of an eye or even less than that. With ujb, you're placing yourself in charge of yourself. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam sought refuge from that. Oh Allah, don't leave me to myself for the blinking of an eye. Not even for a moment. Not even for an instant. Allahumma rahmataka arju fala takilni ila nafsi tarfata ayn. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants good in one, He opens the gates of humility and humbleness with constant resorting and returning to Allah, feeling poor and powerless and in desperate need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no matter how much one excels in his ibadah. If ujb penetrates a deed you did, ask yourself, can I be sure I'll die on that deed or a similar deed? Once you contemplate and figure the correct answer to that question, you will be free of ujb, insha'Allah. Before we drift off any further, I just want to mention one more point about riyah as it pertains to nullifying deeds. If someone starts his ibadah in riyah, in show off, that nullifies the reward. If the individual starts off sincere to Allah in that ibadah, but show off develops during the ibadah, that ibadah is either among those that are considered separate or connected. If it's separate, take an example, you understand it better. Taraweeh. He went to pray 2 rak'ah Taraweeh sincerely. He saw someone walking in after the first two, and he began to do the next two for show off. The first two are accepted. The second two the deeds are nullified because they're separate. Like somebody stands in front of a charity box, gives $10, nobody sees him. He saw somebody walking in, he puts in another $10. The first are accepted, inshallah. The second are nullified. Why? Because they're separate ibadat. He got reward for the one he did properly, and he didn't get reward for the one he did for show off. If the ibadah is one whole connected ibadah and riyah seeps in after he started off sincerely, while he's in ibadah, that he started off sincerely, and he gives into show off, meaning he doesn't ward it off and resist it, that entire salah will be invalid, even though he started off sincerely, because the first part is connected to the last. If he wards off the idea and doesn't give in to it, he turns away from it, he hates it, he resists the temptation of riyah and show off, he doesn't like it, that entire salah will be accepted, insha'Allah. And if he's truly sincere, he may even get ajr for resisting the thought that came to him of riyah. Now, after completing the ibadah, if riyah seeps in, it doesn't affect it or invalidate it because it was done properly and that came afterwards. In fact, Ibn Rajab in Jami' al-Ulum al-Hikam said, if one does a good deed, then some good mention comes to him about it and he gets happy with the bounty of Allah upon him, it does not harm him.